Hello, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to another episode of the Diaspora Global Panel. We must apologize to our audience because we did not come on here last week. It was due to a situation beyond our control. But we are back now. That is the good news. I have with me Anthony Eze from the United States and Jude Unwa Okolo from Dublin, Ireland. Let me do our weekly checkup before we proceed, before we dive into the main topics of today. Tony, how are you doing? And is there any major news emanating from Nigeria?
Thank you, Dr. Lemboye. As usual, we are happy to be here to do the correct thing, to expose the good, the bad, and the ugly of what happens in Nigeria. I'm very happy in my location, but sadly enough, the recent gunmen attack in Anambra State, where a lot of trailers were burned down by unknown bandits. At this time that the populace are trying to have a fair election, we need safety. There should be more security. People should not just go out of their way to commit crime in the disguise of asking for a political agenda. There are constitutional means of achieving whatever is priority to a tribe, but not through violence.
Thank you, Tony, for bringing to us what happened in Aguata, local government area of Anambra State. Thank you, Tony. Jude, how are you doing? And any news that you want to share with us from Nigeria before we get into the main topics?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Kunle, and my colleague, Chief Anthony. Shocking news coming from Nigeria about the attack of Apostle Suleiman and his convoy. So, not what we expected to hear, but the convoys, people died, loss of souls there, and it's not a good news to share, but we just have to commiserate with the family and see if we can talk about it and see the cause and why it happened. That's the shocking news we're getting in from Nigeria.
Thank you. Yes. The story about Apostle Suleiman, Apostle Johnson Suleiman, is a worrying story. 4 policemen were killed and an innocent girl that they claim is Apostle Suleiman's family member was also killed. And we know that they captured one of the gunmen, and the police released that the gunman is deceased right now. And people are coming up with many allegations against the police. They felt the police had actually meted out jungle justice, that this suspect was handed over to the police, you see, alive. But the police actually, you see, meted out jungle justice by killing him while in their custody. Yeah, we want to commensurate with Apostle Suleiman Johnson. We want to commensurate with him and his family for the losses, and the Nigerian police force as well for their losses. And we also want to commensurate with the people affected by the violence in Anambra, in Aguata local government area of Anambra. May we know peace in Nigeria. Amen. Let's just delve in straight into today's topic. It's loaded. U.S. exposed crude oil theft in Nigeria. See, NNPC says all that U.S. received and paid for. U.S. paid $19 billion for this oil, and U.S. claimed that they received this oil over a period of time, but NNPC claimed the crude oil never left Nigeria. In essence, oil were exported. Crude oil was actually exported to the United States over a period of time. The United States received and paid for this oil into diverse accounts. But United States provided documentation for this, but US says that, but the Nigerian government, NNPC, says that the crude oil never left Nigeria. You can see I'm smiling, Tony. This is this is voodoo economics. Please, we have a video to back this up by one of our former honorables in the House of Representatives by the name Honorable Eyisua Johnson Agbonayiwa or Agbonayina. He was the chairman of the Nigeria-US parliamentary, the former chairman of the Nigerian-US parliamentary relationship, in the House of Representatives. He shared a video, and I think our audience will be interested to hear the details, in-depth details that this man shared. But before we play the video, Tony, what is your take on this?
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Lemboye. The fact is that crime in Nigeria are committed with impunity. Even when you have all the data, all the information, all the video, silence always follows. In a country where the president is a minister of petroleum, and this kind of crime is rampant in Nigeria, tell me, who are you going to report to? We know there is a junior minister in charge of the state minister for petroleum products. He reports to the president as the main minister of petroleum. Oil bunkering is as old as Nigeria. And this thing have happened more than 5 years. I understand it's about 9 years the thing was going on. And people know it's going on. But the sacred cows, when they are involved, they become untouchable.
Yeah.
It's not that the government is not aware that this is going on, but probably they get a share of the bunkering. If you are part of a scheme, are you going to bring it up to expose yourself? So this is where we are. And from the look of things, the current president is just trying, he doesn't want to open up more old wounds. I think he's just taking his time to round up his eighth year of his administration and hand over the problem to whoever is going to take over. These things are real. It's known to both the people in government and Nigerians. If you can take some Nigerians and assure them of their protection, I can tell you, they can tell you the real truth, but they cannot say it. Otherwise, they will be in trouble.
Let's start. Yeah, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You are welcome to. I think there is a feedback there in our recording system.
Sorry. Okay.
Yeah. So are you okay now, Jude?
Yeah, go on. Yeah,
okay.
Please. Sorry about that.
So you can just step in before we play the video. For more details, just step in on the bunkering, the news.
Yeah. You see, the Honorable, who was Speaker of the House of Rep during his time, was actually forced to, he, like he said, he cannot bear it anymore because Nigeria is sinking. We've seen Nigeria trying to borrow money all over looking for loan everywhere. And from what we heard him speak, the equivalent amount of money they are trying to borrow is amount of money that's been lost from oil bunkering. So that means Nigeria is really, really rich. We're not supposed to be in debt. We're not supposed to be borrowing. If only this can be curtailed. And he went further to say that he's ready to risk his life to make sure that this suffering going on in Nigeria stops. He did not even say he said it didn't happen 9 years ago. It happens over 20 years ago. It started happening over 20 years ago. But it became so alarming during this regime that if he didn't speak out, his conscience will not let him live. And he quoted that he has all the figures where the money was paid into.
Let's just listen to the video before we start revealing to our audience what the video is all about. Let's just let's just share the video actually. Yeah.
The pipe, I've been there for 9 years. My question remains, how do they know that it has been there for 9 years? Are you telling me that nobody, no government official were aware before you can bring rig of that magnitude to the high sea and pipe being laid down on the ground for so many years? Nobody can ascertain if it is 9 years, if it is 15 years or 16 years. Anyone that is saying it is 9 years, that means the person must tell us how he was able to identify to know that it's 9 years. Dr. Ruben Abati, my brother and Nigerian people, it is unfortunate. This is a document here. This document was brought to me, sent to me by the company that the former government engaged. And they were paid. The first mobilization was $5 million, that molecular power system, to undergo, to monitor and investigate the crude oil that left this country to global destination. They were to investigate 51 countries, but they were able to undergo to investigate 41. The 41 country investigated, the documents are here. When I was in the house, they sent me a copy, and Dr. Ruben Abati, what is here, what left Nigeria to United States through Port of Houston and Port of Lake Charles? 391 million barrels left this country undeclared for through the help of United States Customs, who gave us comprehensive details. Kudos to Molecular Power System and Lumos, who now went further to conduct a terrific and horrific, alarming that you'll be hearing, the outcome of the investigation. It is mind-boggling. Even to India, we have 226 million barrels going to India. And you will see even Cameroon, Ghana, up to Togo, millions. And there's not enough time to really give details and to show you what left this country. That to the United States alone, over $70 billion gone to voicemail. And we invited NNPC, and they told us, the document they gave us is right here. They are right here. Nothing left Nigeria. But U.S. Customs told us what landed in the United States alone, 391, billion. And it's shocking. I'm happy you are showing on your screen. These are some of the investigations that I carried out, that I went to the United States with the support of the United States Congress then, who were so eager, this is wrong, that today, Nigeria government engaged a lawyer out of the United States, Anthony Stanley Jerome, who did a fantastic work. And he told me, Honorable Congressman EJ, I'm sorry, I am not going back to Nigeria again. The only way we can see light in this issue, we have to bring the litigation back to the United States. That the Nigerian people, some of the lawyers engaged by the Nigerian government, connive with the IOCs and some of the Nigerian companies here in Nigeria, not to see the light of day. Yes, we can have a headway by having commitment and the willingness to do the needful. let's bring the litigation to the United States that we can get result. It is mind-boggling, my brother. The documents are here. The money that were paid to various banks, Citibank, Chase Bank, Bank of America, there are details here. But unfortunately, we say Nigeria is broke. Nigeria is...
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen. What do you have to say this is? This is real. This happened. I believe that when this news broke, the current president of former General Muhammadu Buhari should have just swiftly begin an action. You see, an action to bring all these culprits to book. And as you can see, this man said, NNPC said the oil never left. And these people identified the bank account to which the proceeds of this oil were paid. And let me tell you, Tony, if you remember during Obama's last year of Obama's administration, Hillary Clinton said it loud and clear that United States will stop buying Nigeria's oil, and everybody started condemning her. Do you remember?
That's true.
And this man is telling us, I think this is the reason why United States of America, when this was revealed, mind-boggling revelation was made. The United States of America made a concerted effort to help Nigeria to stop the bleeding. And they said, listen, we cannot be a party to this. We are buying this oil as America, as United States. Don't let us be a party to it. Let us stop every importation of oil from Nigeria, from any channel, be it official, because they cannot separate official from unofficial channels.
Yeah.
So let me just leave the floor to you, Tony, and Jude can take it over after. This is mind-boggling. I'm in shock.
Yes, that's a fair analysis. I think my first impression will be that I fear for this guy's life because he has so much formidable evidence, accounts, banking information, or people who were involved. And for you to have this kind of delicate information, the guy needs to watch it. You see, we've been saying this all along, that the problem with Nigeria is not discovering crime or fraud or bunkering, but it's like who will bear the cat. You expose them day in, day out. At the end of the day, nothing happens. Let's wish that the next administration we have the manpower and the political will to bring sanity to the oil sector among other sectors in Nigeria, because we are almost running a mono economy based on oil and gas, and yet that is where the most heinous crime are being committed every day. And the people who are committing the crime, they know each other. You see, some of the Western countries are comparable in some of the crime being committed in Africa. Because even when, say for example, the official government purchasing by the American government says no, there are still fraudulent businessmen that can connive with Nigerians to be getting this oil. But we need to do our homework in Nigeria. Unless we start being pragmatic, honest with ourselves in punishing thieves of different categories in Nigeria,
yes,
this thing will continue to happen. Because if you don't punish offenders, you are encouraging others to join. This is where we are. And unless Nigerians come out seriously to tackle this problem, by voting the right people in the next election and then stand by them. Because, to be honest, one president cannot solve, even if you bring Njoy Gabriel to Nigeria, without the support of the populace, the person cannot achieve it alone. We need a rebate on how we handle issues in Nigeria. Let us imitate Western countries, some Western countries who are very honest in dealing with crimes. There is no sacred cow in America. If you commit offense, like if it's in America that these factual evidence are presented, an individual citizen can come up and sue. But in Nigeria, when you sue, those who are in the judiciary who will determine your case will not stand their ground.
Thanks a lot, Tony. Jude, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I would have suggested that it's time for the House to actually invite these people to come and make an evidence. Because this is not what we should throw just like that, throw it away. This guy was a honorable member of the House of Rep, and our representative in Nigeria, House of Senate, House of Rep, should actually indict them for a public hearing, and he should speak more because that will give him protection as well. And if consequently, the former president of Nigeria, Goodluck Jonathan, because if you continue to that video, I watched that video throughout. I see we just watched it halfway. He continued to say that this how do they know it's 9 years ago it started? It started over 9 years ago. Every consequent government that have led Nigeria over this 9 years ago should be summoned in the House of Rep or in the House of Senate to come and make evidence about this. It should start from there. They should have blown it up so that we will actually find out what is happening with our resources. It should not be just a topic we just heard from him and that ends there. The House they should arrange a committee on this, bring it to the House, call people who are to be questioned, the procedural minister of during the time of Jonathan, the president himself, Goodluck Jonathan, should come and they're not going to arrest them just for an evidence, for us to see what is going on. And the president, procedural minister as well, and the president of the country should be invited to come and make a statement and let us know how this happened over the years and nobody knew about it. And then they should not follow it up because we are losing money and we are borrowing money. Nigeria is not broke. If you look at the file he has there, how many countries are we talking about? India, Cameroon, Ghana, America, and others.
Japan, Netherlands,
China.
India received 226 million barrels. Netherlands over 270 million barrels.
Ireland as well.
Ivory Coast about 47 million barrels. So in total, from what we have seen, over 5 billion barrels.
Exactly. Are we going to leave this to die without questioning? Because when you start questioning this, it will bring prevention in future. So they should blow it up. Let the House make a committee on this and invite these guys to come and give us all the evidence and without tracing how this thing went and recover some of the money that is being hanged up all over the world, so that Nigeria we can breathe in that country. The poor masses can breathe. We are talking we are broke. We are not broke. We have money, and we are being belittled like toddlers. We are not behind. We have this. All you need to do is to follow issues up and get it sorted. Doesn't mean anybody's going to court, nobody's going to jail, but find a means to bring this matter out and get it settled. That's what we are saying, and that's what we in our diaspora panel and all of our people in diaspora should actually come into this and ask Nigeria to make it clear to us, and let Nigeria have a breathing space. Let us use our resources to finance what we have instead of borrowing. That's what I will say regarding this. It should not die down. It should not die as a story. It should continue. We should have a way to bring it out and let the world hear about this. Let it go worldwide, viral. Because it's just going to be sleeping. It's going to be a death story, and it will not be wiped up. We don't want it to wipe out. We want it to remain there and trace where our money is. Instead of borrowing,
You
let's
see,
use our money.
Jude, I would like to say this. I believe that Nigerians should apologize to Goodluck Jonathan, the former president of Nigeria,
Right.
because it was under his tenure that this committee was set, this investigation was done. That means there was sincerity
Yeah.
under President Goodluck Jonathan. I think Nigerians should apologize to that man, including me, because I prayed, I fasted for President Muhammadu Buhari to emerge as president of Nigeria. I must say that for me, I want to, this is an unreserved apology from me to President Goodluck Jonathan, because from what is exposed, Nigeria, over 5 billion barrels of crude oil have been stolen. And now, this begs this question. And I think we should be asking the United States government about their sincerity of purpose. Yes, you revealed to us. You revealed that, okay, this crude oil came through Houston and another city, another port. Why did you not ensure that you paid to the Federation account? Okay, now that NNPC have come out to say that, okay, we did not receive this crude oil, why is it that United States, Britain, and all these superpowers, why can't they, freeze the account? Because it means that money, was stolen from Nigeria. They should be freezing the account now. Before this information, emerges in public. We should have been seeing action instead of them to say, oh, because we have now realized that most of the oil that we have been buying, the crude oil we have been buying from Nigeria, okay, were stolen. So as a result of that, we will not buy your oil anymore. That is not good enough.
Yeah.
It's not good enough. Tony, if you have anything.
Just a follow-up. You see, most Americans realize that America cannot continue to be the police of the world. It costs America a lot of money to keep on going to fight for people who are supposed to cry out. There are legal systems where you challenge cases. We have the International Court in Hague. We have United Nations. We have areas where a country who felt that something had been done unjust to them should cry out and report. You don't expect America to come and beg Nigeria whether they will bring a case up against their national. All they need to do is that Nigeria, it is the duty of Nigeria to report an injustice which they cannot handle internally. If you feel that Cameroon had done unjust and you feel that after bilateral talks nothing is coming, go to international channels where you can challenge. And let us be clear, some of these businesses are not official government businesses. It's some crude business. We have dishonest business people around the world, not just in America or in Nigeria. They have their own group that they transact. So we have to make a difference. Government purchase of oil and individual businessmen buying oil. At the end of the day, we will be able to know which one was done wrong by the government representative. But those that are done by the crude businessmen, the country affected should report. They have bilateral relationship with so many countries. They need to report so that at that level, they will try and settle it. Where they cannot settle, the aggrieved country can produce to the normal legal route and get a result. These things are overwhelming. Many countries, look at France, the national economy of France depend on most of the people they colonized in Africa. If you shut down monetary supply from Anglophone countries, some of these countries cannot survive because they are making them like bugs. So we need to live up to our expectation. It is somebody who is wronged or who is sick that should cry out for help. Don't wait for Western countries to come and dig out crime in your country and start prosecuting it.
Tony, I am not pushing back because
Okay.
you made a lot of sense, because that is also legit. But I'm thinking that is a bit different in this case, because if you listen to this Honorable Agbo Naima, he even said that there were allegations that even those that are supposed in the legal team of Nigeria, you see, are kind of being bribed. You see, so this is the point. America, I know you are not speaking for the American government, but you are speaking as an American citizen.
Correct.
And you have to defend your own. However, you want to say this, that on that, Tony, I beg. You see, I am thinking that the United States of America should do more to help us, because once they figured out that, okay, I understand that the business was not between Nigerian government and American government. It will be some private enterprises that have been given the permission, okay, to import oil into America, okay, that are doing the handshaking on behalf of the American government. I understand that. But I'm thinking that once the US government determined that the crude oil was supplied through illegal means, they should be able to confiscate the proceeds that arose from such transactions. That is just, I'm not saying they should come and help us, but just freeze it and say, now, because they discovered it from the initial steps taken by the Nigerian government, President Goodluck Jonathan's administration. Okay, that was when they determined it. So immediately they determined, I think, Goodluck was swept out of office. So we have President Muhammadu Buhari, and it seems that this case just died a natural death. So we are just saying that the US should do more to help us. Maybe I shouldn't have used the sincerity of purpose.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. What we are just saying is that our representative in all space of life should learn to be honest. Yeah. You rightly pointed out that the lawyers sent in from Nigeria, from this guy's report, went there and sold out.
And sold us out.
Yeah, because they wanted their private pocket. And to be clear, they did not go to deal with the government official. Probably they went to deal with the same crude businessmen. You see, we have to be very, very clear about some of these issues. We don't have only corrupt politicians or corrupt businessmen only in Nigeria. They are worldwide. But all we need to do is that our own representative should live up to expectation. They should be honest. When they are delegated to represent Nigeria, they should do a good job. Not go there and get lobbied or bribed out. And we fall back and we blame America. America is not losing. It's Nigeria that is losing money. Okay? So you don't expect America to come and cure a disease, a sickness that is not on their own land. But if you present that probably you want solution and you come officially, go to the right channel and you get the required help.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Jude, do you want to comment?
No, just a few, like what my colleague said, Chief Tony. Well, my point is this, that we've seen a lot of issues where Nigerians are being indicted in America to speak in the House, to let people know what's going on for some offenses, for some issues. Why can't we have that in our constitution, whereby such thing happen? They should raise a committee and invite people who are concerned in these issues, like the petroleum ministers, the past President Jonathan, because like we said, we have to give Goodluck a kudos, but we have to hear from him what he did, how he pursued it, And why we should give him kudos. Why he has tried to expose this and nobody, he has to come and tell us fully how he played a part in it. How during his time he was not able to curtail it. And we should expect the present petroleum minister as well to tell us for the past 7 years, this thing has been going on under his nose. What has it done? Where were he? Some water is leaking under your roof, and you're not able to find out where the water is leaking from and close it up. What has he been doing for 7 years? These are the things they have to call him and ask him a question. And then we can know how to protect future occurrence. Yeah. While we go ahead and trace where our money is. That is what I'm just trying to say. They should not hide it behind. They should not close it up. Let them make it a public issue so that Nigerians as a whole, home and abroad, we know that Nigeria is working.
Thank you so much. Maybe we have to leave it here because we have spent about 36 minutes. You know, but I just want to say the one thing. Please permit me. I want to apologize to Tom Polo because in this video, this guy actually said Tom Polo has been revealing all this information. Tom Polo has been going after this altar for a long, long time. This guy said Tom Polo revealed some of the dossier in the publication he was reading. So, because I remember when President Muhammadu Buhari announced Tom Polo, we did a show here and we kind of absolutely rejected that in its entirety. So, yes, can we move on to the next topic?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Let's just discuss the flood in Nigeria that has affected 33 states, and over 600 people died, cholera outbreak everywhere, and about 1.3 million people displaced. And we have read that this, has actually ravaged the states, communities around the river Niger and river Benue, in Lokoja, where they met. That is actually affecting all communities in Benue, in Kogi State, I think in Kwara as well. And it is spreading across the eastern part of Nigeria, and that it is also affecting Anambra, Bayelsa, Cross River Delta, and River State. It's affecting people across Nigeria. Please, Tony, yes. What did you read about this? Any news from home? What is your take on this?
Yes, this is a very big disaster, and it's a clear case of failure of bilateral agreement. I understand that Nigeria and Cameroon, that they have bilateral agreements on the construction of dams. Cameroon was able to construct their own dams because this River Benue, River Niger, they are interconnected with a lot of West African countries and the Central African Republic. I don't think it's up to Central Africa, but within Cameroon. So the understanding is that if they build a dam, the dam, in case it overflows or is opened, that the Nigerian section of the dam, I think they said it's supposed to be in Adamawa. I stand to be corrected. So that they're going to work together. If there's an overflow from the Cameroonian dam, that of Nigerian dam will be able to catch up. But unfortunately, Nigeria did nothing. This is what we keep on crying out, that if you don't clean up your house and somebody else clean up his house, whatever waste that goes out of his own home will affect you. If Nigeria had lived up to expectation, this event would not have happened, because that would have channeled the overflow down to the ocean through the Delta area. But now this was not done. So it's like when and I understand, they inform Nigeria before they open up the flow of the water through the dam, And because we did not do anything, are we going to stop them from using their dam? So this is a wake-up call that Nigeria officially need to report back to Cameroon if they need to close up their dam so that Nigeria can quickly do their own dam. Dam, for example, is not something you can do in a week or months. It takes a run for a couple of years for you to put up a dam. Now we need to do something because definitely they must be using their dam probably for agricultural purposes or whatever it was meant to be. So Nigeria, who is a giant of Africa, is relegating some of the agreement. We don't know which one will happen from other countries. We need to do our own job so that with good cooperation with other countries, we have a better way. Look at the disaster that happens in Bayelsa, especially, where even some cemeteries, corpses are being exhumed. This is a disaster waiting to happen for the living because the exhumed bodies going to generate a lot of bacteria and diseases.
Yeah, that is why cholera
Okay.
is happening all over.
Exactly.
All over.
Cholera and
yeah.
others, they don't have clean water to drink again. Everywhere is polluted. So the federal government should live up to expectation because this is not what a affected state can handle alone.
Yes, they said that the flood have triggered a cholera outbreak in Borno, Adamawa, Yobe, the base states. As at 30th September, 7,700 cases, including 324 deaths, were reported across the 3 states. And 5,400 of these cases were in Borno State alone. So let's just say it. And it's also stated that, the flood has actually destroyed homes, farmlands, roads, and other critical infrastructure have been damaged and destroyed. And they said the dam that you are talking about, they said this flood is as a result of global warming, extreme rainfall and the release of water from the Lagido Dam in Cameroon, which neighbors Nigeria. So this is shocking, and we have read that Nigeria has put forward a national response plan for state and local governments affected and has provided food and supplies to these states. This is shocking. Jude, what is your take on this? In closing, we just do one pass on this flooding issue.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm surprised to hear what the Minister of Water Resources said. He is trying to defend the federal government regarding this issue, but from what we see, the Minister, Mr. Suleiman Adamu, said that it's not from the dam that are supposed to be built in Adamawa State.
Maybe to hide their flaws, their response, because as Tony said, Nigeria has not reacted well to this.
But the fact is this: in 1977, there was a pact made between Cameroon and Nigeria. One to be built in Cameroon, one to be built in Adamawa State. The reason is that when they release the water from the Cameroon government, release their water, the dam in Adamawa will hold the water and channel it to the right channel so it doesn't cause flooding. Since how many years now, nothing has been done about Adamawa Dam. The one the dam called the one that's supposed to be built in Adamawa State. Its name is Dasin Hausa Dam. They have not done anything about it, and you don't blame the Cameroon government because when the water gets to a level, they have to release the water. Otherwise, it causes problem to their side. And each time they want to release the water, they inform Nigeria government that we are about to share our water out. You guys get ready. And the reason, before this thing happened, there was a warning get ready. We are trying to release our water. You don't let them keep their water because it's going to cause problem to them. And now the minister is telling us it's not from there. But every hand points to that dam that we need releases because of our flooding coming down to Nigeria, because the one in Nigeria is supposed to receive, the one in Adamawa is supposed to receive the water and channel it to the right channel. And our minister here is telling it's not from there. The point is this: they are being allocated money. How much does it cost to build a dam? The ministry has money allocated there over the years. What have they done with the money? Why can't they? People have lost their life. Family members have lost their life. Everywhere is in chaos. Now we are crying. The solution is supposed to be from them to solve it, but they're not giving us the right solution. They are not even saying that, and they're just shoving it out. We are in big trouble here. We are really in big trouble because it is not global warming that caused this issue. They're just trying to navigate to another way so that people will become. It's not global warming. It's not a natural. It's intentional neglect. Because if things were placed in order, it wouldn't happen. If you have told people to vacate, because Cameroon won them, if you have told people to leave the area, this is going to happen, people would have left. And all you have to do is to provide a temporary accommodation for them until things get settled. Nothing was done. It was a neglect issue. And government should tell us why people should be neglected. People are supposed to be protected. And it has caused problem all over the area. Up to now, what we are saying here, they said this overflowing is going to last till November. So we are still going to see more deaths. But what's going to happen? The poor people in Nigeria will go be dying because it doesn't reach them. These guys that are rich, they don't care. And this is why we have to raise our voice to see how Nigeria can get working again. Because they allocate the money, and the ministries are not doing it. They're not doing their job. And nobody's holding them accountable. The minister in this case has to come out and tell us why that whole Hausa dam has not been built. This is what I think he should do. Should be invited. They should bring him to a proper order and let him explain to us why this is happening and why that dam that's supposed to hold the one from Cameroon has not been built. That's what I think.
Thank you so much. Honestly, I'm not aware if or whether the dam in Adamawa has been built or not. I'm not aware. I didn't research to that extent. So, maybe. Thank you, Jude, for actually shedding light on this, for digging deeper into the issue. We just pray for those affected that whatever they have lost, God will return it in multiple folds. Amen. And we pray, we commiserate, those that lost their lives, their lost properties, farmlands, that hopefully the Nigerian government will provide succor. And God will give the family of those that departed the fortitude to bear the loss. Let's just move in straight. If you guys are okay, Tony, Jude, should I move on to briefly talk about this, because a couple of weeks ago we delved into the abolishment of the visa on arrival program, in Ethiopia, and the fact that Nigeria was included in the list. We said it was an eyesore, it was nonsensical, that the giant of Africa was included in the list of countries that will be denied visa on arrival. Alas, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Nigeria, just came out recently this October that the reason is legitimate, that it was due to security concerns and the political situation in Ethiopia. And as we know, in Ethiopia, there are so many wars raging in Ethiopia. And that is the reason why the Ethiopian government actually banned visa on arrival at every point of entry. Because as Tony said, maybe let me just leave it to Tony to just expatiate on this. Tony.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Lembewe. I think what the correction you made is fair enough. You see, Ethiopia is almost like Nigeria when you talk of probably Southeast and Benue State. There is constant banditry. The Tigray tribe, they have been fighting the Ethiopian government for a long time. And for people who transit through Addis Ababa to their different location, I think it's worthy that the Ethiopian people take precaution based on security reasons. You know, sometimes when some of this news comes out, if you don't have much of the details, you might wrongly judge some government's action. But in Ethiopia, it's a terrible place when you talk of security, this banditry, people are killed. In fact, the way once in a while the unknown gunmen move around in the southwest Nigeria and kill people, it happened in some areas of Ethiopia. So I think it's good that we correct that because we were kind of, we felt bad
Yeah.
that Nigeria should be treated that when the major traffic airline, most of the passengers using Ethiopian airline, Nigeria has a very percentage of passengers going through the Ethiopian airline.
Yeah.
And for us to be treated, we felt bad. But now that the correction has been made, we apologize for the wrong presentation.
Yeah, and I think that our viewers should watch that episode and see how Jude exploded on the Ethiopian stage. Giant of Africa.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know what? I don't think we cannot blame ourselves.
No.
It's an entirety because the Ethiopian government refused or failed to provide the needed information for us to make informed contribution.
Yeah.
So I would say that they are partly to be blamed as well. Anyway, thank you, Tony, for actually helping us in appealing to our viewers and the Ethiopian government to understand. You see, when we kind of make mistakes. Jude, do you want to add anything to this?
No, Tony said it all. Nothing much. Security-wise, okay, fine. But we Nigerians should learn how to keep our own country secure as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I don't know if we need to just go into the last topic because we have actually had about 53 minutes of discussion. Maybe we should just mention it, because we actually elaborated on this in one of our episodes, what is happening in the United Kingdom. We said it, that there would be recession, and we are just putting this out there for Nigerians to beware. Nigerians home and abroad, please beware. Make the right decision. As you can see, UK economy is tumbling. Lisa Truss has actually, resigned, after only 45 days in office. Is because, the country is undergoing serious, economic problems. And I think no thanks to Brexit, because as analysts have just said that small country cannot survive on its own, cannot survive in isolation. They need the bigger European economy to survive. So there is recession out there, and Biden has just, acknowledged that there could be a slight recession in the United States. I think when they are saying that there could be, something is actually in the offing. And I know that I was talking to an accountant yesterday, and the guy said, beware, 2023, there will be a serious recession in Canada. So let me just leave the floor to Tony to wrap up, and Jude, you will wrap up after Tony.
Okay. I think what happened to Britain is a case of they don't know the value of what they had until they lost it.
Hmm.
They didn't realize the impact of European Union, their membership, until they lost it. And in a lighter mood, I think Boris Johnson will be drinking beer somewhere.
But it was the
Because,
cause. It was the cause of this.
yeah, but partly he had been helping sway, maintaining them a little stability,
Yeah.
and they just fell because he had a party, which in Nigeria is a celebration, and they had to kick him out. His replacement could not even survive for 60 days. So, but your warning is genuine enough because Nigeria is 100% importer of goods. We are not exporters. And in a recession, importing countries suffer most. Because once, if they are importing from Britain, America, Japan, and all that, when there is recession there, it will play down to them. So whoever want to take a decision should be careful of investment, hold what you have, and make sure you be pragmatic in the use of what you have. Because once the developed countries start raising alarm about certain economic event, you better take them serious. It's real. And the only thing they are better off than, say, like African country, they have some shock absorbers better than us because they have gone through it a couple of years, so they know how to withstand the shock you're going to bring. But most African countries and some Asia countries who are still developing, they need to open their ears very wide and hear the warning, and whatever they think they can do to foresee the inevitable, they should do it right away.
Thank you so much. Jude, in closing, please.
Yeah, right. Yes, thank you, sir. I think the Prime Minister, from what she said in 10 Downing Street, she said that we set our vision for low tax, high growth economy that will take advantage of the freedom of Brexit. And this, based on what she set her mind on, it didn't work out. So that means hard Brexit is not possible for her as what the British want. They are like our Prime Minister Boris Johnson is a hard Brexit man.
The former.
Yeah, he knows how to do it. He knows how to be hard so that UK will work. He knows how to be hard on the European Union so that UK will keep on moving. But this lady is not in that line, and that's why we are thinking that it might go back to Boris Johnson because he knows how to do it. It's like we have to be toughened. If you don't want us to do this, we must do it, and that's the way he can succeed his government. But this lady has set his own based on what she thinks it work. Low tax, high growth economy, or that we take advantage of the freedom of Brexit. How did that work for her? It doesn't work. And you see how the man was sacked.
Yeah, the Kwateng guy.
Kwateng guy was sacked.
Yeah, the treasury guy. He was sacked.
Yeah, you see how he was sacked because this place, this way he puts this
the mini budget. It was sacked because policy. The mini budget did not work.
Yeah, the policy did not work for them. That's why it was sacked, and there's no how she can continue because only somebody who believes in hard Brexit and who knows the politics behind hard Brexit can move the economy forward, and that's why we think that Boris Johnson will be the best replacement, so that he knows how to do it. He knows how to put European Union into fire, put them
on their toes. He knows how to deal
put them on their toes, and they will comply, and the UK will work. That's the problem here, and that's why she has to go.
Yes, let's see what is going to happen. So I think barring any contribution, we should end it here. We want to say a big thank you to our panelists, Anthony Eze from the United States and Jude Unwa Okolo from Dublin. honestly, I must say, you guys, we have done fantastically well today. I'm proud of the topics. I'm proud of our contributions. And we want to say that to our viewers, we'll continue to strive to bring you better and more robust topics and contributions. We want to say a big, big thank you today for joining us. I am Olakunle Lemboye, joining from Canada. Please give us a like and subscribe to our channel. We see you again next week. Thank you.